We believe that this sentencing reflects the severity of the crime and also demonstrates that crimes endangering national security must be strictly punished.
Clearly, not everyone agrees with that position. I want to bring in NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer, who's been following every step of the story. Where do we begin, Janice? Is it with the leader of this group who got the longest sentence? Is it with the 44 others here? Take your pick, because there's a lot of developments tonight.
Hallie, all but 2 of 47 were given jail sentences. The toughest, 10 years for Benny Tai. He's a former law professor that prosecutors saw as the ringleader of this effort to hold a primary vote ahead of the city's election, the election that traditionally involves candidates that have been handpicked by Beijing. Now, authorities painted him as this dangerous force who wanted to overthrow the city's political system. But for critics and families of those sentenced today, they see this trial as the end of rule of law in Hong Kong. One of the oldest being sent to jail is a well-known pro-democracy activist known as Long Hair. This is what his wife had to say today.
You can say that it's a good news that there's no more harsh imprisonment. But I want to emphasize one thing very clear, that it is unfair trial and it's an unreasonable trial.
Long Hair will be in his 70s by the time he's released, Hallie.
How about another name associated with this movement, probably one of the biggest when you talk about pro-democracy activism in Hong Kong, and that's Jimmy Lai. He's in court tomorrow?
Yeah, he's a publisher who had a newspaper called Apple Daily. Jimmy Lai was arrested in 2020. He's been in solitary confinement. Tomorrow will be the first time he takes the stand in his defense. This is a trial that was supposed to last 80 days, and it's dragged on with breaks for at least a year. Jimmy Lai's health has been deteriorating, according to his son and rights groups. And there are international calls from the UN down to rights campaigners who are wanting to have him released. But he's facing very serious charges of collusion with foreign forces and subversion, again, under this national security law that was imposed in 2020.
Is this the end of the push for democracy in Hong Kong? What does the movement look like after today?
Well, the law was Beijing's response to the protests in Hong Kong in 2019. And the government here said it was necessary to stop what it saw as challenges to China's sovereignty. It's now created this environment where there's a crackdown on media, and even certain slogans on a T-shirt can be considered a crime. And digital surveillance has been stepped up. When I last spoke with Joshua Wong, who's one of the more prominent faces of the pro-democracy movement, he said, we're never going to give up and we're never going to stop fighting. But then there were the arrests and now this mass trial, and a lot of people believing that if it has not killed the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong, it has certainly pushed it into the shadows to a point where the U.S. has stepped forward to condemn it and to say that this is another step toward tarnishing Hong Kong's international reputation. Hallie.
Janice Mackey-Frayer live for us there in Beijing. We're so glad to have you there, Janice. Thank you very much for breaking it down for us, and I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.